Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us here for This Week in Agribusiness. I'm Mike Pearson. Across the country, farmers are hardly waiting to get into the field for the 2025 planting season, though some cold, wet weather has slowed them down in some places. We're going to kick off this week with Agronomy for Your Acres with our friends from NUTRIEN Ag Solutions. Joining us this week from Minnesota is Tyler Morgan. Tyler, thanks for talking with us.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for having me.
Fill us in. What does planting progress look like up in your neck of the woods?
Pretty minimal up here right now. We had a little window about a week ago there that some guys got started just to get planters going and make sure everything working bugs out and stuff like that. But now we're kind of sitting and waiting on the weather. It seems like we're a day away, and then they put some rain in the forecast every time. So looking good next week, though.
All right. Well, that is good to hear. Of course, we do have some growers getting some crops in the ground, getting in early. It's wet. It's cold. What's your sense on how these early planted crops will do in this environment?
Tough to say. You know, we've been encouraging a lot of pushing the soybeans early, just because we can make up for stand loss with them and get overcome any issues there. But some guys have been putting some corn in the ground. You know, we've pulled some cold germ tests and had some pretty good results on the cold germ. So we, you know, felt comfortable with some guys getting started there too, just to get things in the ground to get going.
On that cold germination, what kind of conversations are you having with growers as they're looking into it?
We're trying to encourage guys to use it as a tool. You know, you don't need to completely reject a hybrid because it doesn't have a good cold germ. We just need to make decisions around which hybrids we're getting in the ground first based on cold germ results. You know, we selected the hybrids that we like for their potential, for their placement, and everything like that. So we don't want to totally kick one to the curb just because it's got a poor cold germ test. We want to just use that as another tool to help us make decisions on when stuff's going in the ground here.
That makes sense. It's good to have all the tools in your toolbox before that season gets underway. Now, Tyler, what do you think growers ought to be doing right now while they're waiting to get into the field? What's some good advice you've got for them?
Just going through the preseason checklist again, you know, make sure we got seed in the warehouse, kind of look over your plan for placement and planting orders and stuff like that. If you're doing your own spraying, get your chem in your shed and ready to go. And then just going through the monitors, making sure your planting recs or anything else on the tech side is ready to go. And just, yeah, making sure you're ready to roll when it finally breaks loose here.
That's what it's all about, making sure you're ready to roll. And of course, we'll be getting the seed in the ground. Spraying season, as you mentioned, will be here before we know it. Are you having conversation with growers already about their potential summer spraying needs?
A little bit, yeah. You know, we're still early yet that we're not too nervous about needing to change any plans or anything. I think we'll be able to keep up comfortably there. So we had a lot of conversations this winter around spray plans and just trying to, you know, manage input costs and see what we can do, but we'll see how it rolls here. So
that's what it's about. We're going to have to see how it rolls here before too long. Tyler, before we let you go across your countryside in southern Minnesota there, have you seen much acreage switching? Do you see more growers turning to corn this year than beans, or are most folks on their regular rotation?
Most guys are on their regular rotation. I don't think we saw a major shift, at least in our region here. Guys are pretty comfortable staying on whatever their rotation was, if it's 50-50 or still a little heavier on the corn. But from everybody I've talked to across southern Minnesota with NUTRIEN, different sales reps and stuff, there didn't sound like any major switches in our region here. So,
all right, they are holding the line. Tyler Morgan, crop consultant with NUTRIEN Ag Solutions. Thanks so much for filling us in on the agronomy for your acres this week.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
And folks, you can learn more at nutrienagsolutions.com.